Hello everyone, this is Nichel Anderson and I'm your host for my podcast show. I have two podcast shows. I have Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond and Surviving Your Journey to Success. This particular bonus that I'm releasing today is, it will actually be on both of my shows just to kind of highlight the event and the event that I'm going to be doing this Friday, which will be December the 10th. At any rate, it's regarding the topic relationships and how we can learn to love ourselves in a positive way to love another, right? So I want to just kind of touch on why you should attend and what you can expect to get from the event that I'm hosting. I talked about in my last season that I want to focus a theme, particularly on my Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond podcast about relationships, because it's more from my book, which is Mitzrayim, a memoir, and how I turned that into a theatrical production when I arrived in Atlanta, because my dream was really to turn it into a feature film. But nonetheless, moving forward, that's my goal still. So this particular event is going to focus on the importance of learning to love ourselves. And with that, it helps us to identify what is not love. I always had a problem growing up into now, and it's going to be continued that way, is how I used to hear people express, I love you, or I care about you. They always use love in a way, but didn't match up to the behavior of the experience that I encountered. And to me, love is not toxic. Love is pure, love is kind, love is giving. It's a positive vibration. And when we twist that up and we do things that are unhealthy, a term came to me years ago where that's unhealthy love. So I used to use that term, but I don't really want love to be associated with that. That might be another podcast. But this particular Friday, why you should attend is that it's going to show as me hosting it with my guests, it's going to show how you can identify what you need to feel loved, to feel secure, to feel happy about your life, even if you're not with anybody, because it's all about you first in a sense of what you need. And then with that, like for my example, I use myself as an example. It can be, of course, those things that I described, but also my connection of the tools that I use, the steps that I use, the practice that I use. I'm going to share that because everybody is different, but we're just having an open discussion. So it's for anyone seeking an understanding to love on their love journey path to why, when it's going to happen, what was that I experienced, how can I receive the true love of our soul or what we are seeking, because I believe everybody wants that. I don't care what they're saying. They're like, I'm probably fine. And that's perfectly fine. But it's always somewhere on the agenda to experience that. Okay? So that's what I'm getting at. So in this particular event is sharing my own experiences as well as my guests that I'm inviting. I am inviting my friend, Dr. Amber. She's not like a psychiatrist or anything like that, so you can feel I don't want you to feel intimidated or feel like I don't want to be psychoanalyzed. None of that. It's just she's sharing her own experience of love. So she's a doctor from UK in dentistry that we connected through Podbean, which is a network of podcast hosts. And I just asked her that she want to be a part of it. And she's just basically there to share her experience and encourage everybody else there the same way as me to share my experience and encourage everyone that's going to attend. It's nothing about saying you did this, you did that. That's not my objective. My objective is basically to define true love. What is that? In my book, in Mitzrayim, a memoir, I'm talking about a princess that has to identify her feelings of falling in love with a king that she was not destined to marry in the sense of what her parents wanted her to be, and going through those emotions. And from a king perspective, in the sense of what he has to do is understanding what true love is sharing, is understanding what the other person wants, what they need, and coming to grips of that, of opening up about all the things that maybe, I should share this or share that. It's all about giving in the end of the day. But my whole podcast, Mole, stands for Moments of Love in Ancient Egypt. So it's about love. It's about family. It's about the journey. And that's what I want to do, is give strategies that can help people that are listening. It can help me. I always feel that talking it out, which I give a tip of what I was going to explain this coming Friday, is communication. Communication to me is food for the soul, period. And it's the type of communication that you're giving. In the book, there's a moment where Princess Amina and King Daniel have a moment to actually talk about their feelings and about the obstacles and everything, and they eventually come together. It's because their souls open up and they was willing to share what they felt. They wasn't holding nothing back, and they was able to present what they need in order to get what they really want, which was the true love experience between the two. And that's what I'm coming today. Now, my turn is why we go through this, why the roadblocks, and by sharing my experience, by my guests that are sharing the experience. I'm having a motivational speaker. He said he would be there. It is not just to do this or do that or preach or that. It's just to share his experience. And with all of us talking about it in an open discussion, just think if it's going to be us all sitting down, having tea, whatever you want to drink in that sense, and eating lunch, and we're just having a conversation. You could be at a park or a cafe, whatever. It's not to judge. It's just to talk about it. And when you talk about it, it allows that experience and what you're feeling, your emotions, to come out, an opportunity to get healed. And when you do that, you get your mental peace. So no matter what journey that you're on, you're going to be able to know what you need, what true love is, to say no when you need to say no, to say yes when you need to say yes. That's like Amina and Danielle did. They said yes, and they jumped and leaped into their destiny. They got married later. That's basically what this event is going to be. It's going to be very open and honest, and we're just going to be talking about true love and what that means and how you can learn to love yourself, which is another tidbit I'm going to go ahead and share. The power of no. I'm actually going to tweet about that. But nonetheless, it's the power of no. That's not true love. And to identify that and to know when it happens. So when your soulmate enters your life, you're going to know it. And if you already have your soulmate, this is a great opportunity to join the event and share your experience. It's encouraging. Encouraging is giving. Giving is life. And that's what we're on this journey for, to experience that. So definitely consider that you will be interested in joining the event and to understand and to learn. We're going to learn from each other to build that foundation of knowing how to love yourself, how to nurture yourself, so therefore you can love someone else and you bring a positive energy into the relationship and to be able to grow, because that's what true love is. It's giving. It's not toxic. Anything that is not love. So we're going to define that. And like I said, you can join in through Podbean. You have to log in, create an account, and by doing that, you have access to all the engagement. So if you do participate, you can use all those different emojis and what have you. But I do encourage you to join our event. It's going to be Eastern Time, which is about 2:30 p.m. You can log on. Like I said, I'm going to have my friends there. They're not there to psychoanalyze anybody. They're just sharing their experience. And I want to talk about it because in my experience, it's always been what is just, you just go with it. Oh, they treat you bad, just go with it, or you need this, oh, you can just don't worry about it. But, it's always been an unhealthy, unbalanced type scale. I always knew in my heart, that's not it. That's not it. And everyone should be able to be with their true mate and be happy. And so if that means that it's not, then it's okay to be on the journey. As long as I'm happy, that's how I am. So we'll talk about that more this Friday. But I just wanted to kind of put this out there. I wanted to make sure my message was clear of what to expect. Who is this for? That's for anybody that understands true love or don't understand and want to know about it, and to define it. It's also always good to define your purpose, to define your objective, to find what you need, and to define your worth. That's another thing I'm going to definitely keep holding on, is to define your worth. That's what I learned completely, and I want to share that. So hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.